Unit 24. Relationships. Adjacent. Next to or near something else. The theater is adjacent to the library. Attach. To fasten or join one thing to another. You need to attach these two parts. Bond. To fix two things firmly together, usually with glue, or to become fixed in this way. It's not easy to bond plastic and metal together. Bond. The way that two surfaces are stuck together, usually with glue. The bond should be strong enough to support quite a lot of weight. Bond. Something that gives people or groups a reason to love one another or feel they have a duty to one another. We were at school together, so there's quite a strong bond between us. Together, so there's quite a strong bond between us, coexist. To live or exist at the same time or in the same place. Two different species of bear coexist in this area. Coherent. A coherent statement is reasonable and sensible. You need to rewrite your essay so that your argument is more coherent. Compatible. Likely to have a good relationship because of being similar. I suppose Lisa and I just weren't compatible. Comprise. To consist of two or more things. The country comprises a number of independent areas. Compromise. To solve a problem or end an argument by accepting that you cannot have everything that you want. Young children have to learn how to compromise. Compromise. A way of solving a problem or ending an argument in which both people or groups accept that they cannot have everything they want. You'll just have to find a compromise. Conflict. If different ideas or opinions conflict, they cannot all be right or cannot all happen. This statement conflicts with what the Prime Minister said earlier. Conflict. Angry disagreement between people or groups. Many people have died in the conflict. Confront. To go close to someone in a threatening way. A man in a suit confronted me as I tried to enter the building. Confront. To deal with a difficult situation. It's best to just confront the problem head-on. Consistent. Not changing in behavior, attitudes, or qualities. He might be strict, but at least he's consistent. Contradict. To say that the opposite of what someone has said is true. I wish you wouldn't contradict me all the time. Contradict. If one statement, piece of evidence, story, etc., contradicts another, they disagree and cannot both be true. What the witness said contradicted the accused man's story. Contrasting. Different from each other in a noticeable or interesting way. They write in contrasting styles. Cooperate. To work with other people to achieve a result that is good for everyone involved. We can achieve more if we cooperate. Correspond. To be the same as something else or very much like it. The two accounts of the incident correspond with each other. Dispute. To say that something such as a fact is not true or correct. I'm not disputing the facts, just your interpretation of them. Dispute. A serious disagreement, especially one between groups of people that lasts for a long time. The dispute seems likely to continue. Distinguish. To recognize the differences between things. I couldn't distinguish between the expensive coffee and the cheap brand. Diverse. Very different from each other. Our English teacher knows a lot about quite a diverse range of subjects. Divorce. To take legal action to end your marriage. She divorced her husband about 10 years ago. Divorce. A legal way of ending a marriage. I've been meaning to tell you for some time now that I'd like a divorce. Equivalent. Someone or something that has the same size, value, importance, or meaning as someone or something else. There's no equivalent for that word in English. Equivalent. Of the same size, value, importance, or meaning as something else. We can either give you a refund or you can exchange the item for one of equivalent value. Exclude. To deliberately not include something. Excluding ourselves, we're inviting 18 people to the party. External. Coming from outside a place or organization. You'll be interviewed by an external examiner. External. On or from the outside of something such as a building or someone's body. This cream is for external use only. Identify. To recognize someone and be able to say who they are. The witness wasn't able to identify the man. Identify with. Feel that you can understand and share someone else's feelings. I could really identify with the character of Melissa in the film. Integral. Forming an essential part of something and needed to make it complete. Learning to forgive is an integral part of growing up. Integrate. To make someone become a full member of a group or society and be involved completely in its activities. I think that people who come to this country should make an effort to integrate. Interfere. To deliberately become involved in a situation and try to influence the way that it develops, although you have no right to do this. Stop interfering in my relationship with Jane. Intermediate. In between two stages, places, levels, times, etc. You can't become a pilot without going through a lot of intermediate steps along the way. Intermediate. At an academic level below advanced. This course is aimed at intermediate learners. Internal. Existing or happening inside an object, a building, or your body. We've decided to knock down one of the internal walls. Intervene. To become involved in a situation in order to try to stop or change it. The fight could have got ugly if the teacher hadn't intervened. Intimate. An intimate relationship is a very close personal relationship, especially a sexual one. Martin seems to have problems being intimate with people. Intimate. Relating to very private or personal things. I record all my most intimate thoughts in my diary. Involve. To include something as a necessary part of an activity, event, or situation. Getting your degree is going to involve quite a lot of hard work, you know. Joint. Involving two or more people or done by them together. We decided to open a joint bank account. Liken. To say that someone or something is similar to someone or something else. Mary likened herself to Bill Gates, and I suppose they have got one or two things in common. Link. If people, things, or events are linked, they are related to each other in some way. Do you think this robbery is linked to the one that happened last week? Link. To say or show that two things are related, or that one of the things causes the other. The psychiatrist linked how I felt to the problems I'd had as a child. Link. A connection between two or more people, places, facts, or events, especially when one is affected or caused by the other. There's a strong link between the power of the USA and the spread of English. Merge. If two organizations merge, or you merge them, they combine to form one bigger organization. I might lose my job when the two businesses merge. Mutual. Felt or done in the same way by each of two or more people. John doesn't like me, and the feeling is mutual. Negotiate. To try to reach an agreement by discussing something in a formal way, especially in a business or political situation. We've managed to negotiate a discount of 20%. Related. If two or more things are related, there is a connection between them. Your illness is related to the stress you are under at work. Relative. Having a particular quality when compared to something else. After the failure of his first film, the last one was a relative success. Resemblance. If there is a resemblance between two people or things, they are similar, especially in their appearance. Can you see the resemblance between me and my father? People. Acquaintance. Someone you know a little, who is not a close friend. He's not really a friend, more of an acquaintance. Adopt. To decide to start using a particular idea, plan, or method. I adopted the method the coach showed me, and I played far better. Adopt. To take someone else's child into your family and legally make him or her your own child. After 2 years in a children's home, Adam was adopted by a very nice young couple. Ancestor. Someone who is related to you who lived a long time ago. My ancestors all came from the same part of China. Citizen. Someone who has the right to live permanently in a particular country and has the right to the legal and social benefits of that country as well as legal obligations towards it. The man took out his passport to prove he was an American citizen. Companion. Someone who is with you. The prize is a holiday for you and a companion. Dependent. A child or other relative to whom you give food, money, and a home. I couldn't believe it when I heard how many dependents he's got. Descendant. A relative of a person who lived in the past. Did I tell you that I'm a descendant of Lord Byron? Empathize. To understand how someone feels, because you can imagine what it is like to be them. I've had a similar experience, so I can empathize. Extrovert. Someone who is very confident, lively, and likes social situations. Michelle is such an extrovert and loves meeting new people. Foster. To look after a child as part of your family for a period of time because the child's parents cannot look after them. My parents have fostered lots of children over the years. Guardian. Someone who is legally responsible for another person such as a child, whose parents have died. You need to get the form signed by a parent or guardian. Introvert. Someone who tends to concentrate on their own thoughts and feelings rather than communicating with other people. I'm more of an introvert and prefer to spend time on my own. Partner. Someone that you do a particular activity with. Nadine and I are partners at tennis sometimes. Partner. Someone that you live with and have a sexual relationship with. The invitation is for me and my partner. Peer. Someone who is of the same age as another person. What your peers think of you can be very important. Predecessor. The person who had a job or official position before someone else. I hope to avoid making my predecessor's mistakes. Sibling. Your siblings are your brothers and sisters. The elder sibling in a family is often more successful in his or her career. Spouse. A husband or wife. Each spouse is responsible for paying their own income tax. Stepmother/son/etc. Someone's stepmother/son/etc. is their mother/son/etc. because of a second marriage, not because of a biological connection. When my dad remarried, I didn't really get on with my stepmother. Successor. Someone who has a position after someone else. I hope my successor enjoys the job as much as I have. Sympathize. To behave in a kind way and show that you understand someone's problems. Why can't you sympathize with people, instead of blaming them for their problems?